We're live for Giving Greens number 2. Today we're speaking to Leon, who will be here shortly. Yo!
Howdy, howdy, how's it going?
Yeah, good man. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. All ready to rock for you, sir.
How's your day been?
Huge, huge. It's good. It was got started early at about first client 6:30, and just got in the door at 7 o'clock. Ready for yourself.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was the last day of work. So I'm taking 4 days off for my holidays. So the productivity and the rush that you get when you're about to go on holidays, I
Uh-huh.
squeezed that very hard. It was good fun.
And it's your birthday tomorrow. Is that right?
Correcto. Yeah. Cheers.
Well, for anyone who doesn't know you, want to just give yourself a quick self-introduction?
Yeah. Hey, so my name's Leon. So I'm 39. I moved to Perth about 2.5 years ago. Moved from Townsville in North Queensland. So from there, I worked in the fitness industry for over a decade. So mainly doing a lot of personal training, a lot of bodybuilding, rehab, sports specific, and then a bit of gym management in between morning and after shifts. A little bit of military background and health officer roles. And since moving to Perth, been working as full-time club manager in Snap Fitness in Claremont, and also PTing out of that facility as well too.
Yeah, right. You mentioned military, army?
Yeah. So 4 years of fun, and then they weren't letting us do our job, so I went and joined the contractors and did another 3 years of work overseas for the Defence Force. So that was a really awesome experience.
Yeah, right. Wow. So what led you to become a PT?
Um, I think it was from probably the end of high school. Was just helping friends with their training and whatnot, and I was learning the gym around that time as well too. So it was always good grabbing a friend that said they didn't feel comfortable to get into the gym or didn't know what they were doing, and go from there. And then whilst I was doing a lot of the work overseas, I started running my own boot camp and PTing outside of my normal full-time job too. So yeah, while I was overseas, started getting my certificates up, and then hit the ground running full-time when I finished up working in East Timor, and set myself up in Townsville for a good decade. Oh, yeah, decade.
Yeah, wow. Do you feel like you always had a pretty high interest in like health and wellness and fitness?
Yeah, definitely. So even from a young age, like our mother was a quite serious athlete or swimmer,
Yeah,
so she
right.
was very competitive from there. And then once again in her 40s, so right from a young age, we were always in competitive swimming, and then that naturally throughout high school led to a bit of triathlon, and then a bit of basketball as well too. And yeah, so it's always been something that's been of in my life basically.
Yep. I know. So I worked as a PT for a short time, uh, and I know that the hours are just super long. Like you're having super early mornings, often working right through the day, uh, can be super exhausting. At those times when it is just getting a lot, like what is it that keeps you going? Like what is it that
Uh,
you have to keep thinking about? Like this is what I'm trying to do for people. Like there's that
yeah.
moment that for you.
Um, so it's definitely for me. Well, firstly, without nerding out too much and being lectury, is with the massive days. If you're not doing your recovery and your nutrition right, you're going to bury yourself and burn out as well. And yeah, besides 6:30, 7 a.m. starts, and sometimes 8:30 p.m. finishes 4 days a week, and then some big Fridays and Saturdays. If you're not looking after nutrition, you're just going to fall down. So, firstly, look after other people and not burn out. You've got to look after number one.
Mm,
Is the huge message there. But my reasons why for doing it is because I absolutely love the pants off it. Um, the enjoyment I get. So you've got that one-on-one direct with my personal training clients, and being able to see how far they want to take it. to do a full switch, or if they just want to do the training and dabble in nutrition, or if they just want to dive right on in, just seeing that transformation they can make when you get a really committed client for that big life turnaround is absolutely amazing. It just gives me so much joy. And then on the management side in the gym, because you're the guy in the gym, someone's going to come up and ask you a question. And I think it's just after working in the industry that long and being able to give that 2 to 15 minute answer or demonstration of exactly, like I said, addressing that situational problem that they've come up to you with, whether it's nutrition training, my chest hurts, my wrist hurts, or why are my legs still sore, why aren't I recovering properly enough, and being able to give them that advice for them to take and make a drastic improvement. Because otherwise, sometimes that question would have gone unasked, unanswered for themselves. And you can see that they're making that commitment for themselves. 5 times a week, they're getting in there and getting it done. And that little tweak that you can add to them for them to make a big improvement in their life and their training efforts first, then can lead on to life later, is what brings me so much joy. And yeah, I had about 4 incidences up to that today, and that's something that I take gratitude in and put a little smiley face or 2 or 3 people each day that I get to do help make impacts. And that's what really gets me going and makes me, you work 13, 14 hour days, like it doesn't matter because I enjoyed it, and I'm getting all I need to do as well done too.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of Allan Watts?
No.
No. He calls himself a spiritual entertainer, and there's all these videos floating around YouTube, little clips that people have made of his lectures and speeches in the past. And one in particular that I heard, I don't know, it must have been like more than 10 years ago. And his whole question is like, what would you do if money was no object? Like, if you had like all the money, if you didn't have to worry about money whatsoever, like, what would you be doing with your time?
PT for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And working, like, yeah, definitely helping people is what gives me such a kick. Like,
yeah,
I know if I had all the money in the world, I'd be able to fill my time very well and very productively.
yeah,
But yeah, to give that sense of purpose and enrichment to life, yeah, it would be helping people within the health and fitness space, definitely.
yeah. It's always fascinating meeting people who wouldn't change what they do. They would just be able to do it better with more money.
Mm, yeah.
Uh, it's one of the questions that I usually ask people when I first meet them, just to, just to see like how much they really actually enjoy what they're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see. Obviously, in there somewhere in that time, you're obviously finding time to train for yourself as well.
Correct. Yes. So training them a little bit less with this workload. So I have amazing PT, Chantal Baker, shout out. So I'm only doing 4 strength training sessions a week. And I just bang those suckers out my lunch break, shower, change t-shirt, and go from there. Last year when I wasn't as busy, so I was doing a lot of bodybuilding, a lot of cycling, and then also doing swimming and running races as well too, and just getting the efficiency of the workouts done and what equipment to be using was absolute key to getting that done. So you're not just overtraining and putting lots of hours in to get the wrong type of outcome of what you wanted. So yeah, I always make that balance because if I don't train, I get the SADs, to put it bluntly.
Yeah. I feel that really quickly. Uh, do you have a specific goal that you're working on at the moment?
I hit mine last month with my training, which was 100 kgs lean, and hit that. And so now the next goal is looking for January, just 105 lean, just bodybuilding training. Nothing too exciting, not with views to compete or anything like that, but still stay very functional, lean, and still be able to go swim some laps, swim the beach when we can, when it's not freezing cold, and I hike on the weekends and mountain biking as well too. So yeah, that's the goal, to just get that weight up, but then still stay functional and not just carrying watermelons under your arms and chafing your legs.
Yeah. So we say 100 kilos of lean muscle mass.
Yeah, yes, that's what it was last month, and I hit that. So yeah, now doing another step up to get 105.
Yeah, wow. Um, so when you're working with your one-on-one clients, uh, what are some of the hurdles that you have to help them over initially? So when you first start working with someone, what are the sort of the common things that you have to help clients through?
Um, I think the first one is you can control them in the gym. So if you've got them for at least twice a week, that's great. But yeah, it's about that nutrition.
Hmm.
Um, Using apps like MyFitnessPal to ensure that they're tracking and knowing what they're doing and giving them that empowerment and education. That's the first vital thing, because if they're not going to do that, yeah, you're just coming for a bit of fitness and chats and a good training session. So yeah, so when you identify those clients that are like, yeah, I'm going to do this next level, you embrace that. And if there's those that are a bit wishy-washy, that's where you need to identify and help keep them accountable to that importance of the nutrition component as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I first started seeing a personal trainer when I was like 19. And I remember the first session with him, like we didn't lift anything. The first down and had a bit of paper, and he drew like this massive triangle on this bit of paper. Um, he said like, the bottom two-thirds of it, the foundation of this pyramid was all about nutrition. Like 80% of all the work you're going to do when it comes to like changing body composition or getting fit or anything, it's always just going to come down to nutrition as the most important thing. And that blew my mind. I think at the time, like I wasn't unfit. I was mountain biking up regularly. Uh, but I must have been going through like a box of soft drinks a week or something. I just moved out of home. Yeah. And he got me off that very quickly.
Yeah, yeah,
But this whole idea of just how important nutrition is when it comes to any kind of like body comp goals or fitness goals or health goals.
yeah,
He,
definitely.
he was a competitive body sculptor. And he had me drinking egg whites with pineapple juice.
I'll give him points for the pineapple juice, but egg whites do not absorb when they're eaten raw. Actually, soaks up the nutrients, which actually absorb protein in the belly too.
Yeah,
So this
right.
was going back a few years ago, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. 15 years ago now.
Yeah, yeah,
It was pretty horrendous.
yeah. And you get some good results for yourself.
I definitely changed a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm massive, obviously, but I definitely saw slight changes in physique. But the biggest change I noticed, I think, from changing nutrition and from working out regularly, was energy levels.
Yeah,
Um, at the time, I was working a sales job, and like I honestly believe that getting the nutrition right and working out regularly improved my sales.
definitely, 100%. Yeah,
And that was actually what drove me to become a PT, because I felt that benefit. And I'm like, I want people to feel this.
yeah,
Uh, Training as well and doing the same thing. Um, but he was a massive influence to me. I think he's still around in Rockingham somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, funny guy. um, if you could give the listeners just one takeaway from this, what would it be?
Well, I suppose one thing I really like is favorite quotes. So I like to listen a lot to the good old classics, Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy. And so one thing that in the industry and I think life and business was the biggest thing from good old Zig Ziglar was, help enough people to get what they want, and that'll enable you to get what you want in life. And I think that's, yeah, very reflective in the business, especially with health and fitness. Like, you help enough people to get and achieve what they want to get. And then in turn, you're rewarded for getting what you want out of life. And for me, that is that enjoyment of helping others initially, and being able to create that revenue to support a lifestyle of my crazy ass biohacking training and recovery tools and toys. that I have at home as well. So yeah, it's very reflective. And then I think fitness specific wise would be if you do what you always do, you'll get what you always got. So we like to empower and educate people at our gym, like through workshops and encouraging people to ask questions. So that's that shift of okay, well, that's what I was doing previously, getting injured, not getting results. Let's change our approach so we can get a different outcome. And failing to recognize that or doing the same thing and expecting different results, basically insanity.
Uh-huh. You
Yeah.
mentioned craziest biohack.
Oh, was that sorry?
You mentioned biohacking. What's your
Yeah.
craziest bio?
So my craziest one. So oh god, the light in the last week is involved. We did got some friends. We did some sauna, ice bath, um, swings. So that was good fun. So you're jumping into the 4 degrees. After being in the sauna, it is piece of piss. Like you do not feel the cold. It's quite interesting. I'm just would be finishing up a 7 day fast. I committed to one of my clients for with one, so it was just like water, mineral water, and black coffee. And I realized last night that I found out that I was having some melatonin gummies, and then they had sugar in them. So I'm like, okay, well, I've completely blown the autophagy phase. And then I'm like, okay, I'll have some bone broth because I remember seeing that it was good. Um, but it took, once again took away the autophagy phase. So I'm like, I've spent 5 days fasting, um, and just from having these melatonin gummies and my bone broth, I've blown it. So I was going to break it yesterday on my birthday for us on the 7 days. But yeah, after my disappointment of my inaccuracies and what I could have during the fast, I broke it with a block of cheese. So yeah, and yeah, and then at home I've got things like the infrared lights, acupressure mats, and just I did a lot of breath work last year with just long holds and just jumping on the Wim Hof bandwagon with the his app through doing the retention holds as well too. So yeah, that's been a bit of enjoyment. These are the kind of things you chuck in your day to day just so you can keep kicking butt and having progression for yourself.
Yeah, right. I used to regularly do a fair bit of the well, I don't know what it was called. It was like in for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, out for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds. I can't remember what someone calls that. It's like
Box breathing, so you can do that. Like there's breath in for four, hold for four, out for
yeah,
four, and cycle that, and then yeah,
yeah,
similar to apnea, where you take the breath in slowly over a set amount of seconds, hold for 30, 40, and then out for 8 to 15, and keep going through that. And I think it's an awesome way just to lead yourself into meditation because you do about 5, 10 minute cycles of that, and you completely sedate and you just lie there for another 5 and think of nothing, and bam, you've got a meditation done at the same time as breath work.
yeah. I got to get back into that. Really,
Yeah, it's good. It's awesome.
I definitely felt something good from that. Um, so a 5 day fast. You still made it 5 days, even though you didn't make seven. You made
Correct.
five.
5.5. Yeah, yeah. Not gonna beat myself up over it.
I think the longest I've tried was like 3 days.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
have you?
that's the hard one. It's at that 2 hour mark that you get the hungriest. Sorry, 2 hour, 2 day mark, and then from there, your the hormone which says, "Hey, you're hungry," just goes and pops right down again. And then from usually hit like that 24 hour mark, you get this focus and energy increase. Next day, you get the hungers, and then after that, it's just smooth sailing. It's easy.
Yeah, right. And you were still going about your regular day, your regular work while fasting.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
training.
yeah,
I
right.
will admit, I got a little bit dizzy on leg day, but it was like the 30 reps of Bulgarian splits weighted. But yeah, we got a little bit funny. But yeah, yeah, still high output and a lot of focus. Because the key is to keep yourself just distracted, really. So your productivity tied in with your cognitive function enhanced just gets a lot done for you. It's cool.
Yeah, right. Fascinating. I went on the 3 days. I pretty much sat on the couch for the whole time. That was it.
Oh god, you would have hated it. It would have been painful.
Actually, it wasn't too bad. Like by the end of the first day, it was, and then
Yeah.
after the 3 days, and I got onto juices,
Onto
um,
the what? Sorry.
onto juices, like fresh
Oh
fruit
yeah, yeah,
juices, making my own
yeah.
juices, for a few days. And yeah, there was this weird, like, a friend was trying to get me to do it for ages, and I was like, nah, it's a ridiculous idea. Don't be silly. And then I thought, well, I'll give it a try. So 3 days, just water. I'm pretty sure I had tea as well, so like just herbal teas. And then came out of it onto the juices. And for like weeks afterwards, or maybe a couple of weeks, it's almost like I had like an endless amount of energy. I could go for like 18-hour days, just like working all day long. I was like, I've no, like, it was something I'd never ever experienced before in my life. Have you
Yeah,
ever had
that's
anything?
awesome. Yeah, that's yeah. Once you've hit that 20 hour mark, it's just energy goes right through the roof. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
awesome.
fascinating.
Yeah, it's so good. I think if I feel tired, like I'll only probably say that word once a month. I'm like, oh, I feel tired, and
Uh-huh.
that's the indication for me to sleep. And um, best investment I've made this year has been the Whoop watch for Whoop, not watch, just the monitoring tidying app. And yeah, today I was on 30% recovery, so there was no training today. It was just foam rolling and 10 minutes of rolling over the legs, and that's what keeps you, tomorrow being able to have that full energy as well.
Yeah, right. I don't know if I'll try it again.
Do it, do it. You can join us. We do myself and my clients. Um, at the rollover of each month, we'll do a 3 day. And that way, we can cheer each other on and keep each
Uh-huh.
other accountable.
Mm. All right.
I'll give
I'll,
you a
I'll,
buzz at the start of the
I'll
month.
joining one time.
Don't hold you to that. A lot of witnesses.
All right. Before we wrap up, do you have anything else? Anything that you'd like to add? Anything like you say?
Want to say big thanks to yourself actually for the microgreens and giving greens service as well, because I'd always do it back in Townsville. Like I'd add the perfect setup and make my own little alfalfa sprouts, and then I saw broccoli sprouts, and just the motivation behind them was just the amount of sulforaphane that's in them, which is really amazing for yourself. Um, and yeah, I just stumbled across it off of somebody's Instagram, and I just saw. I knew I used to pay $8 for one this big, and now every Tuesday I get one this big delivered, and it's awesome. So yeah, so big thanks to yourself, and really looking forward to getting out to more members or in front of more of our Snap Fitness crew as well, and just you can't get fresher than it's still growing in the tree.
Mm. Yeah, that's the whole point. But yeah, thank you very much. And
No,
yeah, I remember like seeing your name many times on Instagram, and then one day this order came through, and I was like, wait, I recognize that name.
cool. That's cool.
All right. So my final question is, what does living a healthy, happy life mean to you?
It means, yeah, for me, energy, performance, greater efficient in training and productivity for your working day, and then that just rolls on for the rest of your life and relationships. So as long as I'm getting to lift things, hit a foam roller, stretch, get a bit of breath work in, and do my little bit of recovery bits and pieces, that means I'm happy. Yeah,
Sweet. Nice
cool.
one. All right, man. Well, thank you very much for taking the
Nice. Thank
time,
you very much for having me.
and I'm sure I'll see you again very soon. And we'll share this out across. I think Ben here doesn't like the idea of fasting and doing weighted Bulgarians.
Definitely not. Yeah, no fasting for Ben. He's a client of my trainer as well, and he's on an absolute mission of growth. So he's doing real well. Shout out to Ben.
Yeah, right. Is he like on like a massive calorie surplus?
Yeah, 10 kgs up already in nearly 3 months. doing
Yeah,
very
right.
well.
Huh. Fascinating. All right, man. I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much.
Sweet as, I'll
And
see
I'll
you
see you
around the
soon.
traps.
Yeah,
Bye.
man. Take care. Happy birthday again.
Cheers. Thank you.
Ciao.